Have section 5.5, which gets us into, oh, it's really wavy, huh? Triangle inequalities. Now, when you hear the word inequalities, you should be thinking of less than, greater than symbols, right? Are your inequalities? Okay, so we're done with constructions. Chapter 5, the only 3 constructions you're going to have to do, hopefully you did them correctly on your quiz, are mid-segment, median, and altitude. Okay, so now the last things we have to cover in Chapter 5 are, well, what are some special properties of triangles? And that gets us to triangle inequalities. Okay, so now what triangle inequalities tell us is what different types of inequalities can happen in a triangle. And here's your first case. So fill in the blanks. Your first sentence says that the angle opposite the largest side is the largest angle. And the side opposite the largest angle is the largest side. So think about this. If I made a triangle with my forearms, and the third side of my triangle is the imaginary line connecting my elbows, okay, if I make my angle really tiny up top here, and my fingers, the distance between my elbows is small. If I make it larger, what just happened to the distance between my elbows? It got larger, right? So the smaller your angle, the smaller the side length opposite of the angle. The larger your angle, the further apart it is. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to be able to do on your homework is, given a triangle, can you list sides and angles from largest to smallest? Well, here it does give me the side, so that should be pretty easy. What is the largest side? AB, so I'm going to list it as side AB as my largest, followed by CB, which means my smallest side is AC. Okay, well that was easy because that's just right there for us. So now, to get my largest angle, if my largest side was AB and I go opposite of it, that angle opposite of it will be my largest angle. So angle C is my largest angle. Well, my next largest side we said was CB, so if I go opposite of that, it would be angle A, and my smallest angle would be angle B. Good. Okay? Would you be able to do that on homework? Okay? So maybe on your note card, you might want to write something like, largest side is opposite the largest angle. Or largest angle opposite largest side. Whatever makes sense in your mind. Maybe you want to make a note of that on your index card for the test on Friday. And please, 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 make sure you read the directions. Because if it says list it from shortest to longest, and you just do longest to shortest, you're going to get it wrong because you made the mistake of not reading directions. And then I'm going to grade it and I'm going to say, wow, they really don't know how to do this. When maybe you do, but you just didn't read the directions correctly. Okay? All right. So that's one of our types of inequalities. The second type gets us to the triangle inequality theorem, which says that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. So for fun, let's think of this for a second. If I had an equilateral triangle, because we all know those exist, so what's true about all the side lengths? They're all the same. So someone give me a number. 9. Okay, I heard 9. So if I had a triangle that was equilateral, don't write this, just watch, that had dimensions of 9 all the way around. The sum of the lengths of any two sides. So if I add two side lengths together, 9 plus 9 makes 18. Is that greater than the length of the third side? Yes. And if I did all the other combinations, just going to be the same. 9 plus 9 is 18. That's greater than 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. That's greater than 9. So that means that I can make a triangle with dimensions of 9 by 9 by 9, whatever it's, the units might be inches or feet or meters, whatever, okay? So we're going to be asked a question that may look like this, where it says a triangle has one side length of 12 and another side length of 8. Describe the possible lengths. So that means that there's going to be a whole bunch of possibilities. Don't write this, just watch for a split second. So if I have a triangle that has dimensions of 8 and 12, now before we had 9, 9, 9. So 9 plus 9 was 18. That was larger than the other 9, right? If I do the sum of these two sides, what do I get? 20. So can you give me a number that 20 is larger than? 19. What else? 18. 14. 9. Right? So there's a whole bunch of possibilities. But there's going to be, and again, just watch, there's going to be an ending point where this won't work. If I do 8 plus 19, is that going to be larger than 12? Yes. 8 plus 18, is that larger than 12? Yes. I go down to the bottom here. 8 plus 9, is that larger than 12? Yes. If I do 1, all the way down to 1, is 8 plus 1 larger than 12? No. So I'm going to hit a point where it no longer works. Okay? So there's going to be this range of numbers that will work, but then there's going to be a group of numbers that do not work. Why can it not be 20? Well, because 8 plus 12 is 20. That's not larger than 20, right? So this is how you get your possible side lengths. So you're going to have a compound inequality. Remember these from good old algebra? Where x is in between a lower bound and an upper bound. Here is your upper bound. Here is your lower bound. To get the lower bound, you are going to subtract your two side lengths. And then to get your upper bound, you are going to add your two side lengths. If you would like to recreate this on your index card, go ahead. And you can go into the back, that's fine. You need space. So in this type of problem, you're going to be given just two side lengths. And then you're going to have to describe the possible side lengths. Well, to describe a whole set of numbers, we use inequalities, compound inequalities. So in this case, I have 8 and 12. So to get my lower bound, I'm going to do 12 minus 8, which is 4. To get my upper bound, I'm going to do 12 plus 8, which is 20. So that means any number between 4 and 20 would be a possible side length for my third side. So it could be 4.0001. It could be 4.111111. It cannot be 4, because there's not an equals to. It can be all the way up to 19.999999999, not 20, because there isn't an equals to. So any digit that I can possibly think of between 4.00001 up to 19.999999 would be a possible third side. So 5 would work. 11 would work. 17 would work. Okay? So, if you're asked to describe possible lengths Well, it's the compound inequality from 4 to 20, not including those two numbers. All right, so that's one scenario of a problem. And then the last thing that you're going to do is, well, instead of doing 2 and then coming up with the possible set of the third, here I'm going to say, here are 3 side lengths. Is it possible to have a triangle having them? So to do that, we're going to check. If I add 2 of my sides together, is it greater than the third? Does that work? Is 6 plus 7 greater than 11? Yep. If I do 7 plus 11, is that greater than 6? Yes. If I do 6 plus 11, is that greater than 7? Yes. Usually you just need to check the smallest 2 because it's going to work out that your large one and a small one will be greater than the other small one, right? So since the sum of 2 sides will always be greater than the third side, yes, it is possible to make a triangle with the dimensions of 6, 7, and 11. Okay, if we go to B, if I add the smallest 2 sides together, I get 6, 3 plus 6. Is that greater than 9? No, it's equal to. So since it's not, no, you can't make a triangle that has the dimensions of 3, 6, and 9. So maybe on your index card you might want to write something if it says, is it possible for a triangle, add 2 smallest sides, check that the sum is greater than the third. I know it's a lot of writing. Maybe you can write that in some other way. Okay? So, triangle inequalities.